A little late on this one, but nonetheless, always fun to bring up how much of a crybaby this current president is. And of course, he was called. Well, okay, so him, Pelosi, Schumer, many months ago had agreed to some sort of infrastructure deal, and I put out in a previous video that we'll see, because a bunch of the proposals that his administration had put out for the last couple of years had all been horseshit. I mean, if you didn't look into details, you just heard the headline, hey, $1.5 trillion, $2 trillion in infrastructure. Oh, sounds great, right? But no. Most of it was going to have to be made up by states and municipalities and, local things that don't have the money and the resources to put up the several billion for each project. No. So what would they have to be forced? They'd be forced to go to a Goldman Sachs, some other kind of investment firm, and then they would take it over. It would be privatized, tolled to death in the sense that you would have to pay tolls for the rest of your life. And there you go. And I'm like, no, that's a bullshit answer. Just fucking come up with the money. The federal government comes up with a couple trillion or so. And then we have major projects throughout the country, putting millions of people to work doing these jobs over, 10 years, maybe 5-10 years at least. So they were going to have this they had this meeting a few months ago where they're like, well, maybe we can talk about this and see what we come up with. Okay. So then now, just a week or so ago, they're going to have this meeting that they agreed upon months before. But with, of course, all this fucking impeachment shit going on, Nancy Pelosi's having to, talk with a bunch of her people in the caucus. And so she ends up putting out this press conference where at the end she's like, oh, yeah, and I'm pretty sure the president's engaged in a cover-up. Whatever.
We do believe that it's important to follow the facts. We believe that no one is above the law, including the President of the United States, and we believe that the President of the United States is engaged in a cover-up.
Okay. Any ordinary person who didn't have fucking skin as thin as toilet paper, like this shithead president we got, would have been like, they just rolled their eyes and be like, fuck Nancy Pelosi, who cares, whatever. Anyway, what about this, infrastructure deal? Let's see what we can do. Come on, let's go. But no, this baby comes walking in, all mad and I heard you said horrible things about me, Nancy. You said I engaged in a cover, so guess what? Until you stop all your investigation, we're not gonna...
Instead of walking in happily into a meeting, I walk in to look at people that had just said that I was doing a cover-up. I don't do cover-ups.
I'm like, oh my God. I heard the story and I'm like, this pussy is our president. He's going to get this fucking butt hurt over nothing. Nothing. Oh my God, what a bitch. He is a little bitch. So anyway, and then this stupid fuck comes out and he gives this bullshit press conference where he goes on to see, and this is the thing that like a part of it now at this point, I just express brief shock for a second, and then just go, oh, well, of course he says that. Like, why else? He says all kinds of shit that isn't true. Well, who cares? But he ends up saying outrageously, dumb things that are absolute bullshit. Like, I am the most transparent president in the history of our country.
I'm the most transparent president probably in the history of this country. This investigation, or whatever you want to call it, with Bob Mueller, there was no collusion. There was no obstruction. Jerry Nadler, who's been an enemy of mine for many years, this whole thing was a takedown attempt at the President of the United States.
What the fuck? Oh, fucking A. Yeah, sure. Whatever, bud. And so, he goes on to say a bunch of other bullshit. And then Nancy comes back with her, with her fucking shaky ass. I hope someone prays for our president, like she's Katharine Hepburn or something. As you can see, I don't like either of these people. I don't give a shit about either one of them. I'm not trying to pick who won what, who's the best of that. Doesn't matter. They both suck shit. And so that's where we are now. And it's only because I actually did the videos about what the previous infrastructure plans were like, how they were complete bullshit. There was no preparedness for anything serious. Nothing was going to happen out of any of those things. So, I didn't expect much out of this. So I could be like other people out there that are saying, oh my God, he totally let the American people down and he should be, this and this and that. They had a tantrum when he should be helping them. It wasn't going to happen anyway. I wish it would. I wish he would have actually had a genuine plan of like, all right, here's what we're going to do. Roads, bridges, tunnels, airports, you name it. We're getting it done. Hey, that's going to cost about this much. We should find a way to pay for it. But guess what, Nancy, Chuck, if you really cared about the people, you'd make it so that it was just done and those people got back to work and all our infrastructure was good and we'd find a way to pay for it later. Okay? All right, good. And really, that would be a great plan. You tell all these assholes that keep wanting things to be paid for when they didn't give a shit about the tax cuts being paid for. Yeah, fuck off. Look, we're going to actually do something for this country that needs to be done. Those tax cuts didn't need to be done at all. But here we're actually going to make shit happen, that actually makes it so that not just businesses, but ordinary people can get around, carry on as usual in their day, not be completely inconvenienced or any other bad thing happen to them. Let's be like more other countries out there in the world that are, they don't have giant holes in their streets that damage vehicles, cost us all kinds of productivity and timing and all that shit. So, as usual, bungler in chief fucks it up again. So, I don't know who's surprised at this. I'm not. But, at some point, we're going to have somebody come in here, hopefully President Sanders, I hope. And he's going to say, now, damn it, everybody, we need to stop with this nonsense of arguing whether we're going to pay for things and how we're going to do it. I might have a plan for how to pay for it, but first and foremost, we need to worry about getting the infrastructure done, no matter what. Sorry, shitty Bernie impression, man. Anyway, so there goes that. Baby Trump decides to throw a tantrum, and there goes any hope of infrastructure deals or, as he says, anything, period, until you stop investigating him. And if the Democrats had a set of balls on him at all, they'd go, fuck off. But they won't. Until next time.